Husserl is trying to extend the Kantian critiques, pure reason particularly, to look at the phenomenological insofar as one's relation to things, thought processes such as expectation. That tradition is certainly developed and nuanced by the wonderful Merleau-Ponty, Phenomenology of Perception. I think that tradition is going through there and does relate to what Sartre is doing. The important point, I think, with Edmund Husserl is that he links back to, as I say, that more a Kantian wish to understand mental processes, or to complete the Kantian project, so that with his analyses, I'll take for example arithmetic. So he does a phenomenology of arithmetic, which the logician Frege, the man, just completely takes out, accuses it of psychologism. It was a complex debate, but Husserl came out with his hands up, saying, "Okay, yeah, that notion of trying to identify areas of thought that can be applied to mathematical thinking, experiencing the world." Not doomed, but problematic in some areas. I think Heidegger's fairly bold capture, and Husserl recognised that was what being in time was, of that project, to throw it in a different direction was an important one. In relation to your question, I think for Sartre, neither Hegel, whose phenomenology is, as I say, quite different insofar as its self in its social context. So Hegel's first thing in the phenomenology is sense certainty. So from sense certainty, through desire, from desire to recognition, we have a trajectory of the subject. That's not Sartre, and unfortunately Husserl's phenomenology, that's not Sartre either. Sartre is, as I say, I think drawing on, or he considers himself to be drawing on very much the Heideggerian position. Heidegger recognises Sartre's contribution and compliments, as far as he ever complimented anything, compliments Sartre's being a nothingness and psychology of the imagination. But I think so. Not really that contradiction I don't feel in Nausea. I think and subsequently, yes, Sartre's position has been critiqued quite severely by Derrida, who thinks he just misunderstands Heidegger. In philosophy, I think that's fairly damning, and Derrida is accurate in that assessment, I feel. However, I feel that Sartre, for me, is a person more like Picasso. That the great works being a nothingness. I'll come on to talk about critique of dialectical reason in a moment. But the great works stand as massive syntheses of a lot of things. There's a lot going on in there, and yes, Derrida may be right, but I don't think that totally writes off what Sartre's philosophical achievement is. Even philosophers as far, and you can't be a philosopher further from Sartre than Roger Scruton, the contemporary conservative English philosopher, recognised that in psychology of the emotions and of the body, Sartre's contribution is but unique, really, in 20th century thought, and he's no Sartre fan by any means. So I think going back to Nausea, the sickness of being, that's coming out of Heidegger, but it's profoundly reworked in very much the Cartesian tradition, where Roqueton is right there in the centre, there's the novel. There's writing the history of this person and why is he doing it. And then, the crucial passages where he just drops you into the being of that person. That's a masterwork, I think. Although those who are disinclined, or those who don't like philosophical novels, such as Nabokov, who gave it a scathing review, didn't recognise that at all. I think it's a great philosophical novel, and the plays the same, really. They're exemplifications of existential situations.